On today's Star Wars Legends lore video, I explain how a group of lost dreadnoughts waged war against the New Republic. Hey guys, this is Eckhart's Ladder. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars Legends lore video. Before I begin, I would just like to give a brief shout out to the Neutral Zone, a channel that I've made with Space Talk, Star Wars Explained, and the Templin Institute. We recently put out our second episode all about Battlestar Galactica in sort of an hour-long podcast format. I wasn't available for filming, but it's still a whole lot of fun. I'll put a link down in the description and in the comments. The immediate aftermath of the Thrawn campaign was perhaps the most chaotic time after the Battle of Endor. As warlords continued to struggle for power, the New Republic struck out into the Outer Rim, taking planets and systems back from the Empire and consolidating their territory. It was in this chaos that the early stages of Operation Shadowhand were set in motion. As the Essential Guide to Warfare explains, from the Pentastar alignment to isolated Imperial satrapies, there were reports of Moffs, warlords, and fleet commanders gone missing, often with their warships. However, at this time the New Republic was responsible for keeping track of hundreds of Imperial splinter groups, so ultimately little attention was paid to the loss of a few fleets. This, however, would be a mistake. Let's return to the Essential Guide to Warfare. Out of the deep core came a trio of massive task forces of Star Destroyers, anchored by massive dreadnoughts the New Republic had thought destroyed or lost, 4 Executor classes, including the missing Whelm, 5 Mandator 3s, and 3 Vengeance classes. With the New Republic's navy tied up largely in the Outer Rim, there was little standing in the way of these massive forces. The Empire would successfully take Coruscant as well as several other planets in the core. This was the unofficial beginning of Operation Shadowhand. However, despite the group unifying in the deep core and attacking cohesively, they were not directly under the command of Palpatine by this point, and in fact, Sidious had not made his return public. This meant that Coruscant was captured by warlords who, although coming together for a different purpose, still disagreed fundamentally on the best course of future for the Empire. Another quote from the Essential Guide to Warfare. Imperial commanders who survived the Imperial Mutiny remember that it began with the ruling council and the Moffs squabbling over the selection of a new emperor, a disagreement that became a bloody free-for-all between those two groups, naval commanders, the Inquisitorius, Compnor, and the Imperial Security Bureau. But these facts seemed a poor summation. All agreed that a madness seemed to consume men who had worked patiently for years to restore the Empire. The Whelm and the Mandator 3 Panthak destroyed each other above Al-Sakan. The captain of the Vengeance-class Dreadnought Javelin piloted his massive ship into the torpedo sphere guarding Chazin, and squadrons of robotic ties tore apart the Mandator 3 Oculius at Driaria. So basically, 3 fleets of long-lost dreadnoughts strike out against the New Republic, ravaging Coruscant and surrounding systems before turning on each other in a seeming fit of madness. Obviously, Palpatine's hand was at work here. He summoned the forces to the deep core, sent them out, and then for some reason destroyed them. As the Essential Guide says, there seemed to be a madness amongst the fleet commanders. To me, this is obviously some sort of dark side trickery. The book said that Sidious did nothing to stop the Imperial Mutiny because he had long dormant weaponries and shipyards secretly constructed in the deep core and assembled a massive fleet. But I think it's more than that. I think he actively encouraged the mutiny, again, through the Force. What was his purpose? Well, we know through other works that Palpatine was all about testing the loyalty of those under him. We know for a fact that he had great disdain and disappointment for any warlord and even Thrawn who fought for himself, or even his own Imperial faction, rather than for Palpatine. Perhaps these disagreements over who should lead meant that they weren't worthy, and as such, Palpatine disposed of them. It's also possible that Palpatine just wanted to use his own secret fleets that he had constructed and did not want to reintegrate these forces. Thus, he used them for their purpose, then got rid of them. I'm honestly not sure if I believe this one, because we know that Palpatine called other fleets from around the galaxy and joined them with his new super weapons, so why would he just dispose of this one, unless they did something wrong? But those are just my opinions. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. This is one of the most powerful fleets we've ever seen assembled, with 12 dreadnoughts in total. And really, throughout Operation Shadowhand, the Dark Empire really had no military opposition. Again, what do you think and what would you like to see next? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, this has been Eckhart's Ladder. May the Force be with you.